Hello, everybody. You are now listening to the Overflow Podcast with Jae and Joaquin.
Boom, 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 boom.
Dun, 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 dun. Welcome to this week's episode of Discovery. No, of the Overflow.
Of the
Podcast.
what?
Discovery. Of the Overflow Podcast. As always, this is Joaquin.
What up? What up? What up?
And
Jay.
that's still Jay. We are here. We are super dope.
We are super dope.
You know, we do what we do, baby. So anyway, thank you for joining us again for this week. We are glad that you joined us. If we are a little loud and you need to lower your volume,
Then you should do that.
And that's what you should do. We're kind of messing around with the audio because Jay was crying that you could barely hear him at the beginning of last week's podcast. And by crying,
Literal tears.
I don't mean that it was just tears, but it had the snot bubbles, you know, and you cry, you got the snot bubbles just popping out.
It wasn't me. It was us. Like I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah. I think Jay needs to, you know what it is?
I'm old.
They sell these things called Q-tips, and you can use it to dig the wax out.
I was waiting for an old man joke there, but all right.
No, because I watch TV with subtitles.
You watch English TV.
English
with
TV with
English
subtitles at the volume up. So, yeah, listening to all that hip hop as kids and as young adults with like the headphones like blasting.
Word.
It's kind of coming back to bite us in the booty, as it were. So we got some interesting stuff to talk about, but as always, what's up, Jay, man? What's been going on?
What's good, son?
What you been up to? What you been up to, baby?
You're so dumb. I hate that you do that so well.
That's my West Coast.
I'm gonna do what it do.
I'm gonna do what I do.
Nah, man, chilling. It's been a great week. Went to Juice's service, his first service.
Awesome.
It was dope.
That's good. Was he hyped after it was done? Was he encouraged?
Nah. Well, yeah. But you know, you
I know Juice.
No. Actually,
you don't know Juice. He's changed so much.
no. Actually, he was dope. He was dope. Like he was nervous, right? Scared. I mean, it's his first time. Like it's not like if it's one of us. One of us, like between you and I, we've got years of doing this. So like we're vets. Right. But for him, this was his first. This was his first time.
I'm always a little nervous when I get started.
You get a little nervous, but you know. But
once I get going,
you know what to do.
Right,
you know how to set it up. You know what you're doing.
That first joke, I'm good.
Right. So he was nervous. He was walking around and asking me questions while I was there, and I'm like,
right.
And that's what tomorrow's for. Right now, focus on what's going on.
Right. Enjoy the moment.
Right. Mitch was there, who does worship at the Ice Kitchen.
The Ice Kitchen, right?
For Legacy Nights, he was there. Well, that's his church, and he's also.
Is he helping with the young adults?
He's overseeing it.
Okay.
Right. So like he's the boss.
But Juice is the pastor of the young adults?
Yeah, Juice is the pastor of the young adults, but it's a hierarchy. So
right. I'm better than you.
nah. So Mitch being one of I think he's like the associate pastor. Oh, and okay. Being like so he has that. That's what he's over.
Okay, so it's like one of the ministries that he's overseeing.
Right, exactly. He's overseeing that ministry.
Gotcha.
So it's Juice is the pastor, right? And that's his vision. That's his whole thing.
Gotcha.
But like when he has
in the
a need, when he has something that he has to,
in the umbrella of the organization, Juice is under Mitch.
Juice is under Mitch.
Gotcha.
So it was dope. It was dope. Like the worship team was ill. He brought in some people that went to Bethel with him.
Okay.
Right. So worship was on point. The interesting thing that
Was worshipful.
that all of us noticed, like Juice, Mitch, and I, was the fact that right, it's a vanilla church.
Right.
And
Right.
they're used to that slow worship, and you're just standing there like this, John Chris style, right? Right, and it's
Right.
Bethel. It's like it's Bethel style worship.
Right.
So there was
It's a little more
a little more charismatic,
a little more pepper.
right?
Because it's still not spicy.
No, it's not. Right? But just enough, right?
Just a little more pepper.
And so it's like some people. Well, they were the bass player. Were like encouraged them to like get out of their seats to come up for
Right.
that space. Like they had a space open for that time,
Right. To jump around.
right? And like they went, right? They went, but like they took up that space, and they were still
Right.
like rocking back and forth. Sometimes you saw this, the John Christ hands, the Tyrannosaurus Rex worship hands.
Right. Why you clowning on how people worship, Jay? How dare you? How dare you?
Right. But there were a few that like felt the freedom. I mean, it takes time. I think I think a separate challenge that he has.
Or maybe the freedom is not to do something, Jay.
I think the challenge that he has is helping create like a culture that doesn't care about who's looking. As far as not just worship, but just as far as with their Christianity, right? With their faith.
Right. That's kind of like a culture that's okay with all forms of how you worship.
Right. So they're used to just standing, right? Just standing. I mean, because I go to church there, so they're used to just standing and sometimes putting like a hand up, like you see it sporadically or peppered around, right? But like not really,
and it's usually that older middle-aged woman that's really feeling the spirit,
but not really like allowing themselves to give in to worship. I mean, it was dope. You know, afterwards, it's so funny because he
give in until that one person starts dancing like themselves naked, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, 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 whoa.
I want to dance like David dance. Wait, first, what's your name? Andrew? Then no.
Your name ain't. What was that? What's your name? David. Are you a king? Yes.
Are you a giant killer?
Yes. I slam dunked on a guy that was 7 foot. And you're like, oh, it's like he keeps answering everything. You're like, did you kill one of your generals?
Right? Did you kill a lion? Right? Did you sleep with your general's wife?
It's like, he's like, well, I had a friend.
Well, that's actually what I needed prayer for. What? It was dope. Like it was really cool. I was
that's good.
super proud of him, you know. And then finally got my kitchen back.
Yeah, man, I saw the picture.
Woo!
You got a new fancy faucet.
New fancy faucet, new fancy countertops.
I can't wait for the first thing to fall on it and have Magda yell at you. Don't drop that. This is a brand new counter. And you going, it was a Nerf football. That was okay.
We're getting our cabinets refaced next month. And then
are you getting everybody's faces on them?
And then backsplash. And then I'm done.
And then, until the next project.
Until the next project next year.
Right. I'm doing the air quotes next year.
Yo, remember, next year is only a few months away.
Yeah. December's going to roll around, and you're going to be like, yeah, so we're in the middle of this thing that we started.
Nah, because there are other things that we need to focus on.
It'll be like, what is it? We're putting an elevator in the...
No, the next project will be the ensuite bathroom.
The hoo-ha?
The bathroom in the master bedroom.
Oh, okay. That's the next one.
Yeah.
Put a big garden tub.
No, we have a garden tub. I want to make that tub smaller.
No, I said a big garden tub. A big with the jets.
Yo, like no lie, if not for the kids,
a jacuzzi tub.
That tub would not be used.
Right. I don't know though. I'm gonna open myself up, but I've grown to enjoy baths. So I'll be honest with you. A little Epsom salt, the hot water is good for the muscles, all the working out. Yeah, I appreciate a big garden tub. when I used to go to dentists to hang out.
Not me. Yo, like
week.
literally.
Yo, no. But I'm gonna tell you.
Not me.
Listen, let me tell you something. Not for nothing. Dennis. They have one of those garden tubs.
Yeah.
And Dennis would be like, hey man, well, just jump in, like put some salts, hot water. But they got the jets. So they got like the jacuzzi tub.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be front. I'd be laying in there and just fall asleep.
Yeah,
I'd be like, oh, wake up, be like, oh, where am I? Oh,
I'm not gonna lie. When we first moved into the house,
for real.
I tried the tub once.
Yeah.
And it's so big, right? So it takes a long time to fill. It takes a long time to fill. And then
right.
And then by the time like I settled in, like the water was already getting cold. I was pissed.
Right. See, that's the thing. You got to put it like really, really hot.
I did put it really, really hot. And I was like, you know what?
Scalding.
Freak this. Drain the water out. And I jumped in the shower. So it wasn't, like the tub was not being used.
Yo, for real. So like
now with the kids, that's where they take baths. So,
here's what you need to build. Get rid of the tub, right? You do the shower. You ready? You split it. Part shower. You ready for the next half? Sauna.
Like a 1 or 2 person sauna?
Like a 2-person sauna. So you can go in. So that way after my workouts, I can come up and I can just be like, I'm going to go sit in this sauna. Be like, sit there. Oh, my muscles just kind of like, melt and deep, sweat out all the toxins.
Sauna's not a bad idea. Though.
I'm telling you, that would be
it's not like there's not
it's
not like there's not another bathroom that the kids could take baths in.
Listen, they're too old for baths. They're too old for baths already. They can walk.
Yo, whatever, man. I'm just glad to have my kitchen back. So that means
Grill and chill coming up. Grill and chill coming up. Before it gets cold. We ain't had one all summer, dog.
No, I know, because the kitchen is
I don't blame the kitchen.
It's been hot. It's been held hostage.
You grill and chill outside.
No, but we grill and chill outside, but nobody eats outside.
You grill and sweat outside. Right? You tell everybody, we're going to grill and sweat outside.
It's going to be a grill and sweat. Nobody eats outside. Everybody's inside chilling. And so we had no countertops. We had no... everything was out of the cabinets, because remember the
right.
fiasco of the painting and all that.
Right.
Yeah. So, once everything was done, like yesterday, Magda and I were looking, because Byron came in and he put in
right.
And he installed the sink, he installed the faucet, he did all that stuff.
All that stuff. Right.
And then once it was done. Like he was there. Oh, he also came with his girl, so he introduced us to his girl.
Oh yeah, I've only seen pictures of her.
So we're all there, like the 3 of us, because this girl has no idea what we were talking about.
Right.
So like the 3 of us are looking, and all 4 of us were looking, but then I look at Magda and Byron. I'm like, all right, now. Right? It's like I didn't even have to say anything. Magda and Byron were like, yes. And then Byron turns around. You better send me the date. Let me know when to come.
Word
like,
dizzle.
Yes.
Word
now.
dizzle. Saying.
And I said,
like, word.
I sent the picture to Juice.
Yeah.
What's the first thing Juice says?
Well, we're having a grill and chill.
It's like, yo, so we having a grill and chill now, right?
Yo, we need to do it.
People have been waiting.
You know what we need to do? I'm telling you, the first one needs to be a legacy management grill and chill, so you can introduce the newest member of legacy management.
Nah, I got people in Nashville that are under legacy management.
So they can Skype in.
Enjoy these ribs vicariously.
Ready? You have them come down, spend the weekend.
No.
Why?
Because one of them is a band, remember?
One of them is a band.
Yeah.
One of them.
So one of them is a band.
He's a band.
I manage a band also.
So one is a band. Okay, so he can't come down because he's just one.
I manage a band also. That's like...
How many?
4 people, including their kids, because they're going to bring their kids.
It's fine. and then you have them play the Ice Kitchen, and then you send them on.
Actually, that's an idea. Also, I'm planning on bringing.
And you combine the grill.
I'm planning on the next one. The next.
Listen, I'm just saying is you need to do it so you can introduce me.
No, whatever. You already introduced. Yo, the next.
They don't know who I am.
The next.
My new artist name.
You don't have an artist name.
I'm working on it.
The next. Oh no! I feel like Chandler from Friends. Since you mentioned the Ice Kitchen,
They had a good episode on baths.
no remember, but listen.
Yeah.
Since you mentioned the Ice Kitchen, this month at the Ice Kitchen,
at the end of the month,
the last Monday, which is the 30th, instead of having like a regular worship night, we're gonna have.
And that's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Well, different kind of worship, right?
I'm gonna be rapping,
We're gonna,
and then I'm gonna have a feature.
and it's gonna be Uzuha.
Feature's gonna be Uzuhan.
Right, so for the next Ice Kitchen, for this month's Ice Kitchen, we're gonna have Uzuhan come by and pay us a visit
and feature on my tracks
and give us. He's gonna actually perform.
Yes,
He's gonna perform. He's gonna perform.
Is he gonna do like straight up, or is he gonna do the ideas?
No, straight up.
Straight up.
Straight up. He we talked about it, and he said he'd rather for his first time there,
Right.
and like a lot of people there who will probably be introduced to his music. He wants to like
Right.
give like the full show.
All right, whack. I'm gonna tell him to when I see him next.
But
I'm not going to that show.
I'm thinking, yes, you are. But I'm thinking.
All right.
And I guess he's gonna hear it here and probably text me.
You're gonna
tomorrow.
let me play the banjo?
For the next one, we'll call over Cole McSween.
Ooh, yeah. You guys, that's right, because you got to meet him.
Mm-hmm.
He listened to the podcast. And if you're listening to this one, what up, dude? I've heard nothing but good things about you.
Right? I'm thinking that it'll be a good...
And I'm a really good rapper, just letting you know that.
I'm thinking it'll be a dope spot for him to do his thing in.
It'll be a lot of... Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. It's like... Yeah, it's funny because like as we've gotten older, like we kind of like that idea more, right? Of kind of keeping it more like intimate, chill, instead of like wide open. And
by that time, Junior will be back, so we can get Junior to come over and play.
We can get Junior to come down and play the box, any box. We'll give him a refrigerator box,
beatbox.
Anyway,
Right, so those ideas, but this month at the Ice Kitchen,
so at the end of the
we're
month,
gonna have Uzuhan
at the end of the month, that
performing
Monday,
at the Ice Kitchen.
And it's gonna be amazing because on that Thursday, the week before, it'll be my birthday. So you guys can come to the Ice Box and bring
the Ice
me,
Kitchen.
I mean the Ice Box. I got box. I'm all confused. The Ice Box is like it's like bring me frozen meats.
That's right. That Thursday is your birthday.
Yeah, so you guys can come to the Ice Kitchen and bring me keto friendly desserts. That's what I'm saying. So Ice Box. Oh, you know what? I had that up as one of, so that'll be that's our first announcement. Yeah. So Monday, September 30th, 8 p.m.
Yeah, I just segued into it since we already had
the Ice Kitchen.
Uzuhan.
That'll be a lot of fun. So speaking of music, this week's song, overflow favorite,
Social
Club Misfits just dropped. They dropped it when? Friday on the 6th. Yeah, they dropped a new track that's going to be off of their Doom EP. The song is called Tamo. Okay, it's called Tamo Aqui. Tamo Aqui. Aki.
Like saltfish
and
Not
Aki, but Aki. Aki. As in A Key of Life by Stevie Wonder. No. No, I can't say it. Now I can't say it in English or Spanish.
Tamo Aqui.
Tamo Aqui. Yo.
And it's featuring another
me.
old friend, Ray King.
And it's featuring me. No, it's featuring Ray King. Dope. Dope song. Song is dope.
I'm sorry. Grammy Award winning producer Ray King.
Yes. And some of the lyrics were written by Pulitzer Prize winner Joaquin. It's crazy.
So many kings.
So many kings.
No, the song is dope. The song is dope, and this Doom EP is like is a lo-fi EP, right? So it's a lot of,
which means you got to raise the volume up.
It's a lot of chill music.
It's gonna sound like it's coming off an AM station.
It's gonna sound like this, like they're coming out of cans.
You have to you got to move your phone around to get better reception.
To get good reception.
Hear the tracks.
You have to go outside.
But on a clear night, it'll come in perfectly clear.
Right. As long as it's a full moon.
It's just a full moon.
Right, you got to put it next to the TV and play with the bunny ears.
Anyone under like 35 has no idea what we're. Maybe I don't even know 35.
Probably
has no idea what we're talking about. Look it up. AM radio. Back in the day.
No, first look up radio.
Look up radio. It's that thing in your car that doesn't play your music.
Right? That you don't know what it's for.
Like, you know what I saw the other day? Speaking of I was driving up 85 headed home, and I see a billboard for the Christian radio station, K-Love, and I was like, K-Love, and that's like 106 something. I went, I'm like, huh? When did they come to Atlanta? Did they replace?
They didn't replace. They came. They've been here for like 2 months, maybe.
They've been here for like 8 years, Joaquin.
They've been here for like 2 months.
Oh, okay.
So it's super recent.
Yeah, Fish. The Fish has got competition.
Yeah, no, they don't.
I mean,
it's just another fish.
Caleb. No, Caleb has got a little more pepper than the Fish.
Does it?
I think so. Just a little. Just
I don't
a
think
little
so.
bit of pepper. It's not too like mayonnaise brands. It's like Hellman's. I think they're like Hellman's. No, Miracle Whip. I think Caleb is like Miracle Whip to
the Fish's Hellman's?
To the Fish's Dukes.
Like
Duke's mayonnaise.
Two things that I don't use.
Miracle Whip's got that tanginess. I don't think Miracle Whip's that good for you. Like mayonnaise is fine. But anyway,
yeah, Miracle Whip is more
it's like a sandwich spread. That's what it's called. A sandwich spread.
Yeah, it's not like mayonnaise because it's got like little vinegar to it.
That's what I'm saying. They got a little vinegar.
But I'm saying though, like for me, no, K-Love is exactly like the Fish.
No, they're not. I'm telling you. I've been listening. I've been listening to them for like the 5 minutes when I turn my car in.
Maybe they didn't used to be. But
I'm telling you,
now they're just like the Fish. It's not like it's Air One. Air One radio.
No, not Air One is like the Fish.
No, Air One has.
No, Air One used to have spice. Now they've changed. The only ones that got spice is us.
Yeah, we some spicy Ricans.
We got some adobo.
You see what that meme that I posted? I think I got it from Milena, of course.
Yes,
my beautiful, amazing daughter.
We put adobo.
It's like what is it?
I don't remember, but I know I remember
about the chuleta and the pork chop.
Yeah,
it's like, but without adobo, a chuleta is just a pork chop.
Just a pork chop.
Only Puerto Ricans get that joke.
For those of you that aren't Puerto Rican, chuleta is just pork chop in Espanol.
But with some flavor.
but with some salt. Like a different kind of salt.
with some flavor.
With some adobo, a seasoning. That Puerto Ricans put in everything. So speaking of Puerto Ricans, speaking of Spanish, speaking of Latinos, Caribbeans, if you will, Bad Boys for Life. Bad Boys 3. Bad Boys for Life. Trailer drop.
I'm trying to follow this.
Because they're in Miami. Miami's full of what?
Miami.
Caribbeans.
That's
Cubans.
right.
Haitians.
Puerto Ricans.
And whoever else.
And whoever else.
A lot of Jews, but they're neither. That's neither here nor there.
Well, it could be.
That's either here or there. It could be Puerto Rican Jews.
It could be Cuban Jews.
I don't think there's any Haitian Jews
that we know of yet.
But we'll figure that one out later.
I'll just ask a Clesso.
Yeah, but yeah, Bad Boys 3 for Life. The trailer dropped. Will Smith, Martin Lawrence got together again for the third and final installment.
Yeah, the final one because they're too old.
Of Bad Boys. Yeah, the next one is Bad Boys in the Home.
Bad Boys Geriatric Run.
Bad Boys. Yeah, they get on the bus to go to Canada to go buy their medicine.
You see Martin Lawrence in a wheelchair. Yo, remember that movie Life?
I'm finally retiring.
Remember that movie Life? There was Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence?
Yeah.
And it was at the end that they were all old.
That'll be it. That'll be Bad Boys 4.
Right? Instead of
Almost dead.
Instead of like
Not dead yet.
Like instead of a fancy car or whatever, they're in they're in one of those vans from an active adult home. Right? So it's like, come on, step on it. Well, not even. It's
I'm
just
trying to get in the car.
It's just them scooting around Walmart on those Walmart scooters.
The rascals.
Boy, you better move it, boy. I'm a little rascal. I'm a rascal. Come on.
Oh my goodness. He's like real fat, like he was at Big Mama's house. Martin's. Hey, Hollywood, you should call us for movies.
Oh man, we
Ours are
got
original.
the ideas.
But yeah, man, Bad Boys 3 for Life trailer. Check it out. For us, like, this is a movie that
This is a legacy movie. This
for
isn't even
us,
like,
yeah, like
something that
when was the
we're
first
not even gonna say, oh, you have to go see it. It's gonna be so great, whatever, because it might be. But like for us, this is a legacy movie. Like the first one was the first and second one were years ago. Like they really took their time with this one.
with the third one? Yeah, right. Jerks. Yeah, Bad Boys came. Oh my gosh, bro, Bad Boys, the original, the first one came out in 1995.
Damn. Wow.
So that's like that was my freshman, 94, 95. That summer. So that would have been the end of my freshman year of college. Wow. And Bad Boys 2 came out in 2003. I remember, you know where I saw it? Korea.
Wow.
That was when I was in Korea and I had like a free day.
Yeah. So you went
a couple of days
you went to the movies?
before I came home. I had like 3 days. So like the first day I was like walking around and I'm like, what am I gonna do? So I saw a movie theater. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go see a movie, right? So I went so I went and saw Bad Boys. I even sat in the wrong chair. Like that was the first time I'd ever experienced where you get the seat numbers, like you do here now. And so I'm just sitting in the middle of the theater, right? Like I like to sit, and I'm like this, just sitting there. And all of a sudden, there's like Korean kid and like his girlfriend and like his buddies or whatever. They came. He was like very polite. Excuse me, like you're in my seat. And I'm like, huh? I'm like, what? No, I'm sitting here, right? I'm like, I'm sitting. I'm not in your seat. I'm thinking, great. I'm about to like fight, all these.
You mean get your butt kicked?
All these Koreans. Let me tell my story. Sorry. Why you gotta ruin my story, man? Sorry. And then the kid points out his ticket. He goes, "No, this is your seat." My seat was like on the side, and I was like, "Oh,
okay. Sorry."
Okay. I don't know. Hey, man, you really can't be starting problems if you can't speak the language. It's hard to be yelling at people like you bad when they're like, "What is this guy saying?
What's this crazy American saying? No speaking English." He's like, wait, why you sound like a Spanish person?
I'll be like Chris Tucker in Rush Hour. Do you not understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I'll be like, no.
You're in Korea.
So anyway, for those of you that are old heads like us, this is it's fun. It's like nostalgia, right?
Yeah, it is.
So that's the trailer of the week. Go just check it out. Bad Boys 3. The very end of the trailer was freaking hilarious. And we'll let you watch.
That. This is I'm calling an audible. Paul Martinez, friend of mine for years.
Right.
Fix the cable so it doesn't get snatched up. Friend of mine for years. Out of Miami.
Right.
I've known this kid.
Excuse me.
I've known this kid for years. He is now like the head writer for Jam the Hype. I met him when he was a teenager and he was working with Blaze. He was on Sway.
Sway and Tech in the morning? No, just Sway in the morning.
Sway in the morning.
Tech left him a long time ago.
Right?
No.
Doing the 5 fingers, doing the freestyle.
Oh, he freestyled?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kid is nice.
Yeah, I did a 5 fingers for Sway, and he said that they could never post it. It was just too hot.
Yeah, I did one, but I couldn't get past the first finger.
I think he was like, no, it'll melt the ears of our listeners, and then we're out of business. And I was like, all right.
Yeah.
You know how like when you look at Medusa,
I couldn't get past the first finger. I was like, arroz con pollo, con sancocho. Then I got hungry and I left. I was like, yo, you know what? I could use some cuchi frito right now.
Yeah, you just started singing. You started rapping El Gran Combo's El Menú.
Yeah,
song.
And then I was out. I was like, yo, we're in New York. I'm out.
I'm out.
Yo,
peace.
you want me to bring you some platanitos? What you want, son? Sway was like, yo, bring me some bacalaitos, man.
And Jay was like, where's the money? And he was like, I'll get you back. And Jay never came back. Nah, you ain't give me no money. I ain't coming back.
I'm not falling for that again. Nah, son.
All right, so speaking of cuchi fritos, speaking of plátanos, speaking of arroz con pollos, Titans season Titans
I don't understand how you get these segues.
Season 2 started. And they introed Puerto Rican Deathstroke.
Puerto Rican Deathstroke.
You see how
There's
the intro?
a segue?
You see how it works?
Yo.
I'm getting good at this. I'm getting good at this. You're like, wait a minute, where's he going? Oh, there it is.
Speaking of cars, speaking of Chifrito, speaking of Titan season 2, I was like, what the hell? Puerto Rican Deathstroke.
Puerto Rican Deathstroke.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
Word.
Yo, so Titan season 2. And yes,
so you agree with what I say though, right?
Jay watched it before. So like to set the table, Jay watched it before I did, and he was like, look, they rushed.
They rushed the resolution.
They rushed the resolution. And so I was like, oh, okay, we'll see. So I watched it. And they did rush it. I didn't feel it was as I don't know if it was just the way I read the text, right? Since we can, it's always hard to
tone and text.
Pick up tone and stuff within text. I didn't feel it was rushed as badly as I interpreted what Jay had written. It was rushed. But now honestly though, I was okay with it because they set up the rest of the season so nicely.
But I feel it was rushed because you had this entire season of buildup with Trigon, right?
Right, of leading to them.
An entire season.
Correct.
And then the first 20, 30 minutes.
I think it was the first 40 minutes.
Of the season opener. It was done. Right? They finally showed Trigon in all his evil glory. Right. Right? And for TV, it looked
pretty
dope,
good.
Right? And then boom, he's gone. And then not only that, but I was also poking fun because like she destroyed him and she came back like older and with the new hairdo.
Right. It was the Raven. Remember when she like pulled the Raven out to get Trigon and put him in his little.
And I wish
it redid her hair.
And that's the thing. Like I wish they would have shown her at full Raven.
Right.
Right. At least. Like, because she did the arms thing, but they were spinning it around her. Like, if they would have done the wings full Raven, like in the comics, yo.
They blew a lot of that CGI budget for Trigon.
For Trigon. and then they didn't even show him being like in prison in the Jewel. Like he just like
got sucked
like
away.
Went into like into the Marvel universe.
Yeah. They sent him into the Marvel universe.
He's out there with Gamora right now. Right? And so, but I understand why they needed to do it, right? Because the introduction of like
because I think if they would have taken an episode and a half, then it would have been too long,
right?
So I'd rather you rush it a little and give us the setup for season 2, and than to drag it out.
But you saw what
they hit all the beats that needed to be hit for the resolution.
Right, for the resolution.
But I was fine with that.
But you did catch what I told you, right? Like in one episode, they expanded the whole universe.
Yes.
The whole universe was dropped in one episode.
Who'd they add?
Justice League.
They dropped the Justice League name.
They dropped Bruce Wayne and Alfred first, right?
They dropped those two names.
And then
because when they went to go, this is all spoilers.
Spoilers! Spoiler alert!
When Hawk and Dove went to go get
Robin,
Jason Todd Robin.
No, they were looking for Dick. Remember?
No.
Oh no.
They
Yeah,
went to go get
yeah.
Jason
They went
Todd
to get
Robin,
Todd.
and he was like, "Oh, Alfred and Bruce are with the Justice League."
With the Justice League. Boom.
And it was like
All those heroes.
oh, they just dropped the Justice League. Then they came back. So they got Donna. I mean, they went to go find Dick, and they found him because apparently he's got a tracker up his butt
or somewhere.
or somewhere.
No, it's in the back of his head. Because you saw that he went like this. Todd did after he said all that.
Right.
And then he went and he touched like the behind his ear.
Oh no, I missed that.
You didn't know? Yeah. It was like real quick. Like he said that when they walked away, before he walked away, he went and he felt behind his ear and he walked out.
I loved Hawk's interactions with Jason
With Todd?
Todd's Robin. Yeah. I thought that was hilarious.
How about when Donna was like, Titans?
Called him a rookie
Right?
in training.
Titans, let's go. Right?
That was dope. Titans, let's go. Yep. And I was like, why'd she say that? Right? In my head, I'm thinking, wait, they never established that. But
she established it. Right there.
But it was a callback to the original Titans team. Right? Because what happened? So then when it ends, and it was so cool that Gar, Beast Boy, turned into a snake.
He turns finally.
Right?
He turned into something that wasn't a tiger.
So I thought that was very, 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 very cool. I liked how they kind of gave us the history of. They kind of gave us in the moments when they were taken over by Trigon. How they kind of gave us little backstory,
insights.
Enough of a backstory to kind of connect with those characters, right? To connect with Donna, to connect with Hawk and Dove and all. So it was great.
But
boom.
Come on. Before even the trip. Before that, they dropped Superman. Right? They dropped like straight up.
Why did we call Superman?
Right? They dropped Superman. So you got the whole Justice League, but like they're assuring that they're dropping like these big names. Justice League, Superman.
Wonder Woman.
Right?
Because Wonder Woman got dropped.
No, but she didn't get dropped as Wonder Woman. And it was always Diana. Bruce and Diana.
They didn't drop her as Wonder Woman season 1?
They didn't say Wonder Woman. It was Bruce and Diana. Because I was waiting. I was like,
Yeah, so they've given us all the heroes.
That's it.
Or they've been mentioned, right? They keep
at least the key heroes.
Right.
I mean, not to take away from anybody else. But you mentioned the Justice League, that's everybody.
Right.
Right? That's
at least the 7. Right? That's at least the 7. So that was dope. Now,
then
all of a sudden they go to freaking Wayne Manor and you get Bruce. What'd you think of the Bruce Wayne? Their Bruce Wayne.
I loved it.
Yeah, I read some people had issues with him because he's older.
Yeah, but this is supposed to be set in reality, so it makes sense that Bruce be older. All right, let's not be stupid.
Yeah, he's not gonna be right. Dick's not gonna be 28, and Batman's 30,
and Batman's gonna be 35. Right? Doesn't make sense. Let's not be stupid. It's not even. Let's not be dumb. Let's not be stupid.
Matter of fact, Bruce wouldn't even be in his 40s, really, because he would have been in his 30s when he took Dick in. So perfect.
Yeah.
What you think of the character? How they played him.
I liked how. I like that he had like an American accent, right? He didn't have like that British accent, right?
British guys can do American accents.
I know, but I'm saying, but some of them you can still hear, like it's certain words you can still hear.
Oh,
so
that aristocratic.
Right. So with him, like he went in on his training, right? And I know that it's tough because I never tell you this. When I was teaching English for Berlitz in Boston,
right?
Somebody came in because they wanted to learn. They wanted to get rid of their accent, and they were like, "No, I need a different teacher. I don't want to lose my Japanese accent to get like a crummy New York accent."
It's like, you failed.
I was like, "That's your mama," but I get it.
I get it.
Right, dude. I thought he was great. Like I thought he was great. I thought that the way he presented himself, right, as Bruce Wayne. And then as an older Bruce Wayne, so doesn't have to be like the cocky arrogance, right? He was there as a father figure to Dick.
Right. That's what I like too. The fact that when he saw him, because I remember reading in a review where he's like he saw when he Dick pulled up, he kind of smiled, like he was happy to see him.
Right.
It wasn't like this. You left me, you know. And I love the conversation. He's like, well, I guess you're gonna let me have it now. Like I guess this is where you're gonna render your verdict.
Because I remember when I was 30, and I went up to New York to have the same type of conversation with my dad, right? And it wasn't like my dad wasn't getting defensive. He was like, right, well, I didn't know all that. I'm sorry. Like I tried my best. Let me give you how I was raised, so you can like more or less like tell, right? So it was
a great little scene.
It was
I loved
great.
it. I loved it.
And then he used the Batman voice. He used the Batman voice. Come on, he was like, oh, I need a favor. Oh, I was thinking about San Francisco. Oh, the Titans. Right? I was like, Batman voice.
Yo,
Batman voice.
When he said the Titans, it was cool, right? Because you knew that's where it was headed.
Yeah.
But when he was on one condition,
right.
And then you hear Jason Todd go, well, it's not really the motion.
Yo, when I heard, when he said on one condition, I knew exactly what he was talking about. I knew exactly what he was talking about.
I was hilarious.
I was like, yo, I was telling Mark, I was like, yacht. He's gonna send Robin with the he's gonna get rid of him.
That was so hilarious. And then it ends with them at
Titans Tower.
Titans. Even though it's Titans Tower, but it's not really Titans Tower.
No, but it is, right? Because let's be honest.
It had
a T-shaped building in the middle of San Francisco
it had
Bay.
The T, but but we know that because we saw the T.
Yeah, we looked for it.
Right. I mean, I'm saying if it's in the real world, you wouldn't really necessarily.
Right.
But it was great. It was dope. Like where they show like where the
costumes were.
The costumes where they did the flashback to all the heroes, turning around and then we fast forward to that, and we see where Deathstroke Slade is on the cabins. He's
off the grid.
He's off the grid
because I was always wondering how they were gonna
introduce him, right?
Yeah,
and he's off the grid, and then
he sees the newscast.
Sees the news
in the store
where Jason Todd, being the
jerk that he is,
and dork and impulsive idiot that he is, because if he doesn't run out and yell Titans are back, Slade doesn't even pay attention to him.
Right.
And then we see him fast forward. He's at his house. He's got his manservant.
But there's something wrong with him, right? You see that, right?
Yeah, he's missing his eye. That's always
dummy.
Been the thing.
Like when he was at the sink, like he had to grab tight to the sink.
Oh yeah.
And then even when he was at the house and he was trying to remember the code, like you saw like his hand was shaking a little until he grabbed it. Yeah, so I wonder what.
So somebody's speculation was this. That he's like that because
he old?
No, because of what happened.
Because of the experiments?
Because of what happened with him and the Titans, the original Titans.
Well, yeah. So are we gonna see the Lazarus storyline, or are we gonna see the Judas contract?
I think it'll probably be more Lazarus. Somebody.
Or a mix of both, like the Judas would be the flashbacks.
I read where somebody said what it looks like, and I had looked at the trailer again. Is it that? So what happened? Because they alluded to that they broke up. They alluded to something dark that happened.
Right.
Deathstroke kills Aqualad, and in all of that. That's where maybe he gets hurt. Maybe he gets resurrected from the Lazarus pit, which is why he's got the shaking. I mean, we're speculating because we don't know yet.
All speculation.
But I think that's so. They remember Dick talked about the darkness.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where he kind of loses control on Deathstroke, and he hurts him like worse than he maybe would, right? When he was with Batman, because he talks about the darkness, and so maybe that's why they were right. It ended with both sides being completely
destroyed.
Like
something happened. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
But now that they're back, he's like, I thought I finished them. Now I got to come back and, right? I mean, that's a speculation.
Yeah, but whatever. I'm here for it.
But
whatever it is, I'm here for it.
I'm all in. When he's like, yo, people been asking for you. Are you back? I was hoping he'd go, you keep asking me if I'm back. Yeah, I guess I'm back.
You stupid.
Throw a little John Wick in there. So Titans, check it out.
Oh, yeah. I also finally saw John Wick 3.
All right, we'll talk about that offline when we're dead.
Word.
All right, so let's go ahead and skip this other story. Let's go ahead and jump in.
Yeah, we can save that for another time.
Tonight's topic. So what you got for tonight, Jay?
So tonight, damn, we took a lot of time nerding out.
Sorry.
No, that's what happens.
Sorry, guys.
So tonight I want to talk about something I told you that I witnessed. So, on social media, on Twitter, RG posts, "I love you, Billie Eilish," or Eilish. I don't know how you pronounce her name.
I don't either.
Right? I don't even know what the chick looks like.
She's an elf.
But apparently she is a secular singer,
yes.
Right? A secular artist. And according to the tweets, she just put out this song about how she wants to go to hell, and she's talking to Lucifer or whatever.
Right.
And all that is all not well and bad. But that's not what we're going to talk about. I don't want to say all well and good because it's not. Right? But that's not what we want to talk about. We're going to, maybe. What we want to talk about is the fact that I caught like some of the comments or some of the responses on his tweet by believers, right, by Christians who were attacking RG for saying that he loves this girl. Right? And they're saying all these reasons. Oh, but she is always talking about hell. Oh, she literally just put out a song and a video where she wants to go to hell, and she's all this and that, right?
Right.
And it was and the general consensus of the responses were, right? And this was this morning when I checked. I haven't checked again. But the general idea of all the responses, of all the attacks, were that because she is a non-believer and because she has all these dark, depressing songs and songs where she says that she wants to die and go to hell, that she is not worthy of like RG saying that he loves her, right? Or which in turn can be said that she's not worthy of love.
Right.
And it bothered me, right? Like I wanted to like, hey, what's wrong with you? Let's say like last week. Last week, somebody posted a video of Benny Hinn renouncing the gospel, I'm losing
prosperity
my word.
gospel?
The prosperity gospel.
Right.
Right? Where he's denouncing it. You and I, we've talked about that on the podcast a while ago.
Right.
But somebody just found out and they posted a video of him denouncing the prosperity gospel, repenting from all those years of whatever, right? And like an idiot, I go down the thread and it's all, oh, well, that's not enough. Oh, so now we're gonna believe him, and like all this stuff. And it, like that one I couldn't stop. Like I tweeted, oh, wow, I love all the forgiveness on this thread by you Christians, right? With a GIF file of Joey and Chandler and friends going, right, with the thumbs up, right?
Yeah.
Real sarcastic, like whatever, right? Because it's and that pulls into what you and I always talk about, and I've talked about with other people, so you have as well, where a lot of secular thought processes, a lot of secular points of views have creeped their way into the faith now, where instead of looking at situations and things filtered by the Bible and what God has to say and what Jesus says, right? We get all this emotion and all our feelings get in the way, and we respond and react that way instead.
Right, because we think we think that defense of the faith it's on. You know what? This is what it's like. I'm gonna say it.
Say it.
So the Jews,
this is our show. Say it.
Right? Who's gonna censor me? The Jews were expecting Jesus to be a warrior Messiah.
Right.
Right.
Warrior Messiah King.
Right. So they expected him to come with like sword to like strike down, right?
The Romans that were oppressing them at the time.
To strike down the enemy.
Yep.
Right. So I'm going to use that the enemy. I think that a lot of times we're like the Jews of that time, where we think that the way to defend the faith is with the sword. And so we come out aggressive. We come out, slashing. We come out like, was it Peter who cut the guy's ear off?
Yeah.
We attack. And we try to cut the enemy, try to cut the person that is bringing offense. And so that's a problem, right? Because Jesus never said that to do that. Really. I mean, Ravi Zacharias, right? It's a guy that a lot of people look up to, right? He confronts and he has conversations with people that are not believers, and he doesn't attack them.
Right.
You know, he attacks the idea, right? He attacks the thought, but he does it in a way where, right, he's not trying to bring them down. And I think that we tend to attack the person thinking we're attacking the idea. Because in today's world, a person's idea and then the person are the same. Right? There can be no nuance. There can be no differentiation between I've said this. Oh, well, that you said that, so you're immediately a racist, or you're immediately sexist, or you're immediately a heretic, or you're immediately a fill in the blank. So
right, and then what bothered me, and I guess this is the pastor in me, where it's like, what Bible are you guys being taught? Like, who's discipling you knuckleheads? Where you forget, right? You forget that Jesus was all about like loving your enemies, love those that hurt you, right? Show love to the lost, so that by this they may know that you're my disciples, right? You know, and to take away the love aspect of our faith is to take away the main reason of our faith, right? Because our faith is built on John 3:16, right? If not because God loved,
it's built on Jesus dying on the cross.
You know what? Yeah, exactly. With John 3:16, right? Right? For God so loved the world that He gave up His Son. So it's not saying that because we believe that love, covers a multitude of sins, means that we're okay with everything and anything, right?
And you shouldn't be,
right? And not at all.
Shouldn't be at all.
Not at all. But we do believe that if Jesus loves us in spite of our sin, in spite of our stupidity, in spite of the fact that we're knuckleheads as well, then we should show that same kind of love, and mercy and grace to someone else. Even if they're wrong, if they're believers and they're wrong, and you call them out in love, right? You call them out, hopefully to build them up in correction rather than push them away in correction, right? So a lot of these kids, and I'm going to say these kids because
I don't know, man.
The bulk of them were kids. No, I'm talking about this specifically. The bulk of them were kids that that follow, that are fans of RG. Again, we're gonna say this again. It's like what Angel says. Like nobody's reading the Bible now. Right. People aren't reading the Bible now, and it's not just in the church or in the kingdom or in the faith, but everybody's so caught up on feelings first. Right? Feelings over faith, feelings over facts, that nothing else matters. Right? Their first response, their knee-jerk reaction is how offended they got by reading or misreading based on how they feel, rather than, Scripture says, right? But they don't know what Scripture says because they're not reading their Bibles. Right.
Well, they might know, they might put out, that's the thing, right? They'll use Scripture to go like, this is why this is wrong. But they don't speak it in love, like Scripture says. They speak it out of kind of a self-righteousness. Right. And there's and so they tend to conflate, and we've talked about this, right? They tend to conflate righteous anger with just anger. Yeah. Right? So they think they're being righteous, but, I mean, how are you any better? Okay, so it's like, ready?
Do it.
So if I said, well, what do you think about like the Westboro Baptist people? Like these same people. What if I said, well, do you think they're right in how they're doing that? How much you want to bet? Let's say not 80% of them. Let's say 90%.
90%.
Let's be optimistic. And that's hard for me. 99%.
Disagree with how they do things.
Say I don't agree with how they do that. So So then why are you doing the same thing?
But they're doing this the same exact thing. But that's the thing, though, right?
Right?
Because
we don't say,
right,
listen,
'cause we're-
I'll admit it when I'm doing it.
we're old school guys, right? So in our generation, like in our time,
I'm always angry and it's always righteous.
Yeah.
We
tended to handle things.
do what it do, baby.
Like it was perfect. We in our time when we were that age, like we handled things face to face or even fist to fist sometimes.
Right.
Right. And then, but things were squashed. Things were settled.
Right.
Right. Now with Twitter giving people such a giant anonymous platform.
Well, when in our age, we would read it 3 months after it happened,
Oh, we would hear it,
and we'd have to write a letter.
We would hear it 3
How
months after it
dare
happened.
you.
Oh, you didn't know that this person was saying all this about you? What? When? Who? Right? Hey, who are they? But right, it's given so many people an anonymous platform,
Right.
to stand on,
Right.
and rage out on, right?
Keyboard warriors.
There's no accountability.
Right.
There's no thought process, right? It's like armchair quarterbacks, right? You know, you're there watching the football game. You don't like what's going on. You're an expert,
Right.
right? You're an expert. You know everything. You know it best, but you're not on the field getting hit, right?
Right.
So like we get a lot of that same mentality when it comes to social media. People just want to, oh no,
Yeah, we just want to rage.
to just rage out on their phones or on their keyboard and don't even think about it. But it still bothers me that all these kids were in agreement or basically said the same thing. So all these kids probably not near each other, but they all think the same.
Right.
They
Well,
all
that's
think the
why
same.
that's why I don't necessarily think that they're all kids. I mean, of course, at our age, that the umbrella of kids is a little larger.
It's a lot larger.
A lot larger than it was for us 20 years ago. So I think that just now I will say this. All right, so just to play a little devil's advocate here. I think that we need to figure out how do we take that zeal and redirect it in a much more positive way. Because there is something to be said about saying that is not right, and we don't appreciate that you as someone that we look up to and we like and we know other people look up to, we don't appreciate you promoting that.
Yeah.
So once again, I'm being a little more optimistic here. I think that it's like admirable. The zeal is admirable. The execution is
misplaced
wrong.
as it is, right?
I don't know that it's
as misplaced as it is.
I think the execution is what's misplaced.
But no, the execution and it's misplaced because if you're angry that somebody is showing love to a non-believer who is obviously super lost, if they're saying that they want to have a conversation with Lucifer about going to hell,
I don't think
then it is misplaced.
I don't think that they're okay. I'm gonna now just to be the devil's advocate.
Don't be the devil's advocate.
Just to be Jesus' advocate. To be Peter. I think that.
Go ahead, you Judas.
That's fine. Got 30 shekels, baby. It do what it do. No, I think that I don't. I have a hard time sometimes. I think that it's just the anger is more. I think sometimes the anger is more of the promotion than it is. So if we put out like, yo, we really like this song from this artist, and we enjoy their music, let's pray for them so that they can come to know Jesus. I know I'm being very Jesus-y about it, right? But I think the response wouldn't be the same because then the articulation is, yo, I'm not saying I endorse everything. I'm saying that I enjoy this one song, by this artist. Then I think the reaction might be the same, might be a little different. So I think sometimes.
But then that's a line of.
So I'm splitting hairs.
Of believers not listening to anything that is not Christian music or being fans of anything that is not Christian.
Right. What's wrong with that?
No, I'm saying that's what you're saying.
What, that the people? Nah, and that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that the response is, I love this person, and this person just released a song with
the
devil imagery, right? Now, let's be real. Back in the day, right? We know people.
Come on, man. Back in the day, we couldn't even watch the Smurfs.
I could. Back in the day, anything that was devil imagery was immediately like, yo, we don't need to be looking at this stuff. Like, that's what we were taught, right?
Right.
We don't even need to be acknowledging it. All right, in the sense of, well, I think it's good musically. No, you shouldn't even be listening to it. I think that then, so the reaction.
All good girls go to hell. That's what it was.
Right. So the reaction.
But that's the thing,
I'm not
though,
saying,
right?
I'm not saying.
No, but I'm saying. I hear what you're saying.
The zeal is great.
But that's the thing, because
the execution, not so much.
You have a lot of Christian artists, right? A lot of Christian artists who will go up to bat and defend whatever
secular artists is out there.
And
that's next week's podcast, because there's a problem with
that they're fans of, right? Because according to them, right, you can't judge the artistry, right? Oh, well, it's just their art, right? It's almost like it's just their truth, right? It's just their walk. You can't judge the artistry.
Yeah.
The artistry, the creativity of it, it needs to be respected. It needs to be applauded, right? Because that's their art.
Right. Yet those same people, and see, this is where I get angry, those same people will then turn around and criticize Christian, and I'm doing the quotes, Christian rappers, CHH rappers as being corny, or their art isn't good.
Or those are the ones that complain about their fan base going to see these secular artists and paying extravagant amounts of money for tickets, but won't go to their shows when it's just $10 a ticket.
Right. Or those are these same artists that we're talking about will co-sign secular stuff, will be the same guys that talk about, look how dope Kanye is for taking an old song and putting Christian lyrics. KJ52,
not even putting Christian lyrics, just putting sporadic Jesus around it.
No, and KJ52 tweeted this out, and he was on point. And then he was like, "Oh, but if a Christian does it, it's corny or whack." Now, here's the thing:
we need to get KJ.
If KJ had done that song the exact same way that Kanye had done it, they would have been like, "Look at KJ, he's corny." And KJ,
look at KJ. Why does he feel that he has to copy the world?
He has to copy. He has to bite.
To bite off the world to do his
But those
stuff.
people aren't the ones that are saying that. They're just like, he's corny because he's taking a song and he's changing it up. But they're the same cats that are giving Kanye props, talking about, oh, look how the spirit is.
We talked about that last week, though. Come on.
But it's all part. It's all part of the same.
It's all related
thing. There's two issues.
It's more than two issues.
Well, there's two issues that we've hit on, and then I think we're gonna have to jump on the second, the artist aspect of that issue. But the first issue is that we need to, as believers, for those of us that are all listening, as believers, we need to take a step back, calm down, before we react to what any artist or pastor or church person gives a shout out to or says. And we need to think about how we react.
We need to hold ourselves accountable, right? We are not above reproach. Artists, people with platforms, even as tiny as our platform is, right?
Right.
Because when I was told months ago that I was an influencer, right? I was like, I'm not.
I still laugh.
Like, no, I'm not. I'm nobody. And it wasn't, it's not because
you could barely
or whatever, me. Right? But, it's like, look at all the people that you're connected to that call you and look for you for help, for prayer, for guidance, right? You have a level of influence. So that, just like, I even tweeted it, like, that burdened me, right? That burdened me, because if I am held at whatever level, right, then I need to be sure that I don't cause anybody to stumble or push them astray.
Right.
Right? because I am not above reproach.
Right.
I have to be held accountable because I, just like everybody,
Yep.
has to answer to God. We are all, right?
Yeah.
We're all going to see God at the end.
Yep.
And we will all be judged. A lot of believers think that because we're
Not me.
believers, we're not going to be judged by God. We're all going to be judged, right? And you're either going to hear, welcome, good and faithful servant, or depart from me because I never knew you.
Right.
Right? And that's it.
You'll
So
leave-
it depends on what you want to hear.
Right.
And your lack of accountability determines what it is that you're going to hear from God. Right? You can't be out there, Jesus, 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 right? But then try to think that you have some kind of, you're above reproach because of your artistry or your creativity or because whatever other thing that you want to use as an excuse.
Or your self-righteousness, right? So
Boom.
Because both groups, I mean, all of us fail at it. But I think that what we're trying to say is, part of what we're trying to say is that, me and Jay tend to be very aware about, it's like I always say, right? I always say, like, yeah, I know I'm a hypocrite and I embrace it. Right? And I say that not as a way to go, well, yeah, if I sin, then that's cool because I know that's what I do. But I say that as a way, like, I understand, right? I have flaws. And so I have to take a step back sometimes before I come at something and realize, okay, I'm coming at this as a flawed person.
Yeah.
Truth is truth. So I got to come with truth. I can't come with just my emotion, because then all I'm doing then is sinning in my emotion.
Right.
Right. I'm not bringing truth. Yeah, I might be saying something true, but I've cloaked it in my emotion, and then my emotion causing me to have anger, and that anger, right, is what? Is sin. So I've cloaked the truth in sin. So guess what? It's a bitter pill, and it cannot be swallowed. It cannot be taken.
Right. The thing we have to remember that
me and Jay are better than everyone.
Than everyone.
So you guys need to listen to us.
All of you. So you need to
all
listen.
You suckers.
Right. So no, we need to remember that the price paid for love was high.
Yes.
Right. It was the life of God himself. Right. The price paid for love was high. And we'd be fools. We'd be fools to feel that we're above that, or even more foolish to think that we can take it for granted.
Right.
While we're still here, that we can just take that high price and just use it and abuse it and just take it for granted for whatever reason or whatever excuse.
Right.
That we have fooled ourselves into thinking that we're above reproach or we're above accountability.
Right.
Right. Or we're saying things that we're on a pedestal, we have a platform, and you want to, like you told me earlier, you want to be Charles Barkley and say, I'm no one's role model. Right.
Right.
That's a lie, because
Not
people
how that
look up
works.
to you, man.
Yep.
People look up to you. I don't care who you are. Right. Oh, I'm not responsible for what you hear or how you see things or how you think things. Yeah, you have a tiny responsibility if you are of a person of influence, a position of influence, and you have a platform that you use as an influence to these people so that they can listen to you, so they can buy your merch, so they can follow you, right? If you have hundreds or thousands of followers, son, you are accountable.
If you have one. If you, I saw, so when I was about 17 years old, 18 years old, my dad one day says to me, I was helping him fix a fence or something when we were living in Perry. And he goes, hey, you know this kid, so-and-so? I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a good kid. The kid was like, I think I was a senior and the kid was like a 7th grader or 6th grader, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, he really looks up to you. Like, that kid really looks up to you. And that's always stuck with me, right? Because I talked to this kid and I'd hang out with him at church and, I'm me being me, so whatever. But the idea that this kid looked up to me caused me to rethink and to think about how I behaved, because I have influence on him. Because I knew that whatever negative thing I realized whatever negative thing I do, whatever negative thing I promote, he looks up to me.
Yeah. Very true.
So think of that. So think of it as, would you want your brother? Would you bring it to a micro level? You got children. You influence them. We might not influence millions, but me and you influence. There's two little people that me and you influence.
Word.
Right? Theo influences them. Papi influences them.
Dude, and it's funny because I saw like when Bean does something, like I said, like he yells at Magda. Like I'll sit him down. I was like, hey, do you ever hear Papi yelling at Magda, yelling at mommy? No. Okay, so if Papi doesn't do it, then you can't do it either.
Right.
Right?
You got to influence him.
Right? Like if you don't see me doing it, then you can't do it either.
You know, so
right? So yeah.
So think that how you react. So now we're going to bring it back to those people that reacted. We're going to deal with those kind of posts. We're going to deal with that stuff. But we're going to deal here's how we're going to end it, I think, with how you react to the things that upset you. Just remember that you got to take a deep breath. It's okay to say, yeah, I disagree with you, but you got to say it in a way that demonstrates love, right? Romans 5:8, but God demonstrates his own love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. We have to demonstrate in love that we disagree, and we have to remember that there are people that look at us and how we react to these things, and we're influencing them. My sisters, my baby sister, quit going to church. Yeah. And she says it's because of how people were hypocritical when what happened to my dad went down.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what I believe? And I've said this before, and I'll say it all the time. The way my dad handled it, influenced how she was going to handle it.
How she handles it.
We have influence. All of us do. We all have a platform. I remember, and I'm going to end like this. I remember reading an artist saying that they prayed for a bigger platform. Don't pray for a bigger platform. Be responsible with the platform you have now.
Boom.
And that's how I'm going to end it. Say, listen, guys, thanks for joining us. We'll see y'all next week. Don't forget, keep an eye out. Legacy Nights on the 30th.
Yeah, check us out on all social media platforms.
With all that being said,
what?
And that's coming soon. I'm Joaquin.
I'm still Jay.
And we'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening. Remember to go to theoverflowpodcast.com to subscribe to the podcast on all streaming platforms and catch up on all the links of the week. And don't forget to follow our playlist on Spotify.